Hello and welcome to the TT Podcast, the podcast where we talk to one person from the world of the TT to discuss their lives, their journeys and their ambitions with the greatest motorsporting event in the world. You can still tell we're not back in the studio yet. We're still on the Isle of Man, still at the Manx GP, and as ever, Lee Johnston.
Because you're still in my living room.
Still in your living room, all right?
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
Do you know what? It's a lovely setting.
I'm glad I bought this house just to let you in.
The feng shui within here is sensational.
Honestly, you've moved some plants. I'm not happy, but
what are you going to do about it?
I can let it slide for a week.
This guest that we've got coming on, not a TT racer, but without him, the TT doesn't go on. And people like him.
Unbelievable. I think you're going to get a massive insight into what actually happens, because arrogantly, like myself, I think they've got this cushy number where they cruise around and, you know, turn up and sort a bit of traffic out and do a bit of waving. Mm-hmm. It just could not be any further from the truth.
Are we talking travelling marshals here?
Yeah.
The only time I ever see one is as the race is finished or finishing, one will set off from the grandstand,
but obviously
and head
there's
off.
7 around the track in all different places.
And it does look like it's, for want of a better phrase, a jolly, but I'm sure we'll hear from Jonny, it's anything but
a jolly.
From Jonny. Shall we get him on?
Why not?
Hit that sting. Jonny Heginbotham.
That's right.
Jonny
Botham.
Botham's one. Was it Ian Botham, the cricketer?
Yeah, see him.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't.
What did I say?
Bottom.
No, I didn't. Jonny Heginbotham.
Johnny Eggs and Bacon.
Johnny Eggs and Bacon.
Johnny Heginbotham.
Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I heard it's the first podcast you've done, really.
Yeah, first podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah, podcast virginity.
Well, there's only up from here, really, then, isn't there?
Can only go up, can't it?
What can?
His podcast future. And mine, to be fair.
I suppose, yeah. Shall we start with what you do for the TT and the Manx, or shall we start at your racing career?
Start wherever you like.
Well, let's go racing career, because what we normally ask, have you, and you can say no, have you listened to any of the podcasts?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I stick them all the time.
Favourite episode?
Yeah, subscribe to Lee as well.
Oh, well, that's more important, but he's actually convincing there, isn't he?
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I do listen to it, and subscribe, yeah.
Well, a favourite episode of the podcast then?
Oh, I don't know, just, it's like background noise, isn't it?
All right, okay, fair. So you listen to it. So you hear it, you don't listen to it.
Yeah, I do listen to it. It's good. I like it.
Fair dues. All right. Well, the first question we always ask is about the tap on the shoulder, what it feels like. Now, you've experienced that as a racer back at the Manx.
Yeah.
So take us back to those days.
Black and white days. Yeah, it's good. It's strange. It's hard to say. What can you say about the TT and Max Grand Prix? It's not already been said, Mm-hmm. But yeah, tap on the shoulder. I think you're so focused, you hardly really feel it. Would you say? You sort of you wait and the bike's gone set off in front of you. Tap on the shoulder goes, and then you're just focused on the job. Then
I guess we always ask what it feels like to get the tap on the shoulder, but it's more about what it feels like being released from that, because everyone has a different build up to it, and then you get to that point where you roll through no man's land.
It is, yeah.
Is it nerves? Is it full focus?
I think it's a combination of everything. You've got nervousness, focused, like the energy up there on the start line as well. You've obviously got both experienced it. Just the atmosphere up there anyway. It's pretty electric up there, isn't it? And then it is kind of released, because you sort of, once you start racing, my sole intention was to go road racing, And then when you get there, it's all a bit surreal, and it's hard to sort of take it all in, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird. It was only till after the race, when you sort of settle down, do you think,
think through it.
I've just been ripped round,
Yeah.
You think it's a big, because you've obviously won a Manx Grand Prix, and obviously going into that, you understood you had a chance of winning one. So like the first time, there's a big difference in going in with a chance to win and a chance not to win. So the feeling is completely different. Even
you're focused. Like I remember my mum and dad was sort of like, you couldn't really get near me. It was like they wanted to talk to me, feed me up and stuff before the race, but they sort of like, I don't know. It's strange. It's like just an aura around you, if you know what I mean. You're just that focused on the job. Mm-hmm. But inside, you might look focused outside, but inside you're like...
It's like the old swan terminology where you're floating along and you're absolutely...
And then underneath.
And like you say, the visor goes down, you get a tap on the shoulder, and then you're off then. And then we set off in pairs then as well.
Yeah.
So we sort of had a bit of a plan. I thought, if he's leading if I'm following him into sort of quarter bridge, I'll follow him for a little bit. If not, then
is that something you would speak about? No, or you don't get to? You obviously, you know who's going to be because it's numbers, not like practice for us where you get set off. So would you ever think to go? Oh, listen, I'm better in the first sector, or
no? It's because when we were at that race and everybody wants to win.
Yeah,
it's sort of just like
get out of the way.
Yeah, basically, like be safe. But
yeah,
I just figured if he's leading sort of to St. Ninians, I'll just sit behind him for a bit, get past safe. If not, But then, like, once the visor goes down, you just pull the pin, and then you're just in it then, aren't you?
I'm going to go off at a complete tangent here. One, I think we should just introduce you as who you are and what you actually do, because people might be going, I've never heard of this racer. Has he been at the TT?
That's fair. I've never been at the TT.
But you have
everyone will be thinking that. They'll be like, who's this guy?
Yeah, is this guy running at the back?
Pulled off the streets.
But you have probably the most, if not one of the most important jobs at the TT.
Yeah.
But before we get on to that, I don't know if it's because I've been hanging around with Leaford last week, but your hands are absolutely massive.
They are, yeah.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Put it up to Lee's. For those listening.
Right, get the camera angles right. So I'll put mine real close and you put yours real far. It's perception. What did Father Ted say? He's just far away. He's just far away. Yes, because I'm sat closer to you, that mine looks massive.
No, you could be right here.
I almost confused you there, didn't I? I could see your little
brain in my face, and your hand would still be small.
How on earth have we got to you taking
I was just
the piss
watching.
out of
I was just watching him move his hands, and I was like,
yeah. Did I disappear for a second when he
eclipsed?
Right, sorry. Travelling Marshals.
Probably
pays to have big hands when you're lugging all that stuff around.
It does indeed.
One, explain the role of a travelling marshal.
So, travelling marshals, we're the 7 of us all sort of posted around the course. Our role is, so say for example, I'll go to Ballacrane before the roads close. The roads close, all the marshals get into position and stuff, they check the roads, then we'll get a shout from control to move on to the next spot. So we'll have Grandstand, Ballacrane, Douglas Road Corner and Kirkmichael, Sulby Bridge, Parliament Square, and Brandywell. We did used to have one at the Gooseneck, but we've got 2 now at the Grandstand based there. In case we need to do a sweep, if there's a red flag or something, or the weather comes in like the other night, we can set 2 off from the Grandstand to pick all the boys up, 1 at the front, 1 at the back, and get everyone back to the Grandstand safely. So we'll do that. Roads close, racing gets underway, and then what we do, if there's an incident between, so say if my sector's Kirkmichael to Sulby, if there's an incident between that sector and the marshals can't deal with it, or it's serious, they'll send us out, and obviously we're like trained up with the hog ambulance and stuff like that. We carry all airways, tourniquets, stuff like that, proper medical stuff in the back of our bikes to go and deal with the incident there, and crack on with that, make sure the scene's safe, give control updates if we can, carry on racing. If it's like there's rector cell pulled in, if there's banking pulled into the track, is it clear for us to carry on? Yes, it is. We can manage it under flags, and then basically like guide the helicopters and stuff in, get the guys, if they need to go in the helicopter, get them sort of on the stretcher and shipped away, sort of thing.
That's blown. I did not really. You've just said like 7 out of them 10 things I didn't realise. Like,
yeah, a lot of people don't. They just think you sort of
idea.
You either open the road or you shoot from A to B. You do this, you do that. A lot of people think it's like the dream job.
A bit of a job, but you said
the side that people see is like it can look like the dream job, but then the other side you don't see. It can be
getting
like
to them. So like, do you get? This is massive spread. Do you get trained to go to it, like to see that incident and stuff? Like, because that's not normal, especially because you've been on the other side of the fence. Luckily enough, any big incident, I've just been knocked out, so I've never seen
what goes on,
what actually goes on. But
sometimes.
So then you're there having to give equipment or maybe support the medics, and
that's it. Getting airways into people, stuff like that. Like,
that has to be the hardest part of the job.
It can be, yeah. It's a sort of part that nobody sees, and people say like, dream job, best job in the world. From one perspective, yeah, it is, and then the other side that no one really sees, it can be pretty tough,
Yeah,
but. It's we're there to do a job, and it's good for us. We've got a good group of guys there, and sometimes I think it's a little bit of comfort for the rider to see a face they know as well. Sort of it's a bit of
familiarity.
That's it. And then obviously we'll just support them then until the paramedics get there, and then they can get all like the pain relief and stuff like that into them and stabilise them and get them away.
You're literally there at the worst.
Yeah,
the worst moment.
I had no idea of this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of knew, but.
Yeah, and it can be full of, so sometimes say if you're in Parliament Square based, middle of the race, say 4th lap of the senior, someone's come off at the 26th, So they shout like we're all like mic 1, mic 2, mic 3, mic 4, mic 5, mic 6, mic 7. That's our call sign, if you like. So they say like mic 5, instant at the 26th. The leaders are just coming into Milltown. So you're like 4 laps into the senior, where we've been sat for 4 laps, like watching, and then let's go.
Right,
Cold
so
tires and
even that's the other thing. The calculation of setting off on a cold, you have to sort of calculate how long it takes the tire to get warm if you're on it.
Yeah. And from Palmer Square, it's tricky as well because it's like you're straight in Crookshanks, Whitegates,
Proper,
Hairpin, Tower. You know, you've got Waterworks, Tower Bends, Gooseneck. You're like, right, you don't want me leaning on the front too much, but you've got to get there quick.
Well, that's it. It's a race against. It could be a race against time. It could be
100%. And up there as well. So that section, TT's not too bad because you've always got loads of marshals up there. But sometimes if it's sort of quite nice Grand Prix, you can be on minimum numbers. You know, so you'll have like the guy on the flag. He can't really leave the flag, and then say 2 guys dealing with like the crash rider and wreck the cell or whatever.
Maybe moving a bike first and then.
So it's like it can be pretty full on.
So what's
and like you've got like Fast Boys, Lee, Hickman, all the boys come behind you like let's not get in their way either.
Yeah,
he's blown my mind a little bit. I had loads of questions and I sort of went, holy shit, that's
unpack all this. So give us a.
How does that happen? So that's the first question. How do you become the TM?
TM.
So you
we've
get
got
asked or
we
you
sort of some guys will ask and some boys get asked. So it's sort of. It's one of those jobs for me. It was when I got asked. It was like I didn't want to say no to it, and you don't know if you're gonna enjoy it or not until you do it. You're not sure. Everybody deals with stuff like that differently. Do you know what I mean? Everyone processes trauma differently. It just is what it is. So I just didn't want to say no to it, because I think you only get asked once. Yeah, and it's sort of one of those. It's sort of a job for life, if you like.
When you get asked, then what? You say yes.
You say yes, so then they'll put you through like. So we're all scrutineers. So you do like your technical officials seminar and all that sort of stuff. So we're ACU scrutineers, or technical officials as it's called.
And that happens here? Or you go...
Yeah, they do it over here. They do a seminar over here, because there's loads of guys over here that are scrutineers. So we do that. We do loads of first aid stuff with the med crew. Gav Davies and stuff.
Here
as well, yeah. We all live local, so it's really handy for that as well.
Yeah.
And then we'll do each year we'll do tabletop exercises as well. So we'll all get together, so like the police will get together, fire, civil defence, all get together, and it'll be like all the TT guys. It's like just a scenario.
A drill.
Yeah, basically, just like in a big sort of boardroom. So the TMs will be there, police and fire over there, and then this is a scenario. Say, for example, something like, say a sidecar's gone into Kurt Michael petrol station. So it's exaggerated, but it's good, and you get to put names to faces and stuff like that, and it's like you've all got your radios and stuff on. It's like it's good. It's good.
So do you go through the practice of calling it in and explaining what's
we've all
happened?
got push to talks on the bike. We've got Tetra radios. We're on our own. We've got Roger. He's our controller in control.
So I went into the control tower. Well, Christy and my friend in yesterday. Yeah. It blew my mind.
It's full on.
There must be 20, 25 people in
all
this
around
room.
One desk.
The tension in there as well.
Unbelievable. And
it's worse than the start line in there, isn't it? If you go in.
There's 3 people that receive his call. Then they divvy it out to fire, air med, whatever. There's another 3 people for that. There's 3 or 4 police people. It's like
it's full on,
it literally blew my mind, and it's got this machine-like system, and then they rely on you guys because they can't see. So literally, his eyes and his talking is the connection between what actually happens.
That's so that makes it. And they want like updates straight away. It's the first thing we do when we get to scene, and be like, bike number, rider, like the sort of their condition, if you like. So. If they're conscious and stuff, it's sort of that's another weight off them. It's like then road condition. Can we carry on? Is it managed on the flags? And stuff like that. So it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot. It's what it is. Yeah. And then sort of, when you're there doing the job, you're just in at the job, if you know what I mean. And then afterwards, you sort of decompress. It'll be sort of next week after race day tomorrow. It'll be like Wednesday, Thursday. I'll probably go take Tuesday, Wednesday off work. Just to decompress it all.
So what is the day job?
Work for myself, so like security stuff, cameras, intruder alarms, fire alarms.
So it's nothing within an emergency service.
No, I do. I'm retained, so like retained firefighter as well. Down Port Heron, so I do that as well. So that helps because you do lots of first aid and stuff like that. RTC stuff.
Just likes looking after people.
Yeah, well, we
good to get back sometimes.
We kind of need people like you.
That place in heaven,
I hope he's not at the gate when I'm turning up that day. I've got no chance. I'm like, oh mate, come on.
You're not getting
Give
in
us a
anyway.
chance.
You ain't getting in. There's absolutely no chance.
We'll be getting turned away.
So when you've gone and done, how long did that take? So say whatever date you went, yeah, I'm going to do this job.
Yeah.
If you said that at a TT time, could you go that winter, do everything, and the next year you would be at a TT?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite fast. I sort of did it after the Manx, I don't know, 9 years ago. 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I did it. Tony approached me, rang me up, because one of the lads was retiring anyway, and they just brought Woody in the year before me. And yeah, so he asked me, and then it was just from then, sort of met all the guys, went out for a brew, went out for some food and stuff, just to see if you gel with the team as well, because it's like a real tight-knit team, And and then just all the training from there, basically.
Fascinating, isn't it?
So let's throw an example, or even talk from past experience of an incident you've been to with
Lee Johnston breaking down at Sulby. He's like, I'll get your lift back. You'll definitely make this race in this woman's car. Did you set off the back of the grid, didn't you?
Yeah.
What? Go on then. You
So I blew
explain
up
it.
on a...
Sulby straight, wasn't it?
Yeah. I was on a 500, no. I don't know if it was on the MV or I was trying to get back for the end.
Yeah, you were trying to... There was a race, wasn't there? I think you just
There was the woman... What did she do? Rallycross or something?
Something like that, yeah.
And I swear to God, mate, I literally at the point in the car was like, it's all right,
Just get me there.
Just
as long as
I'd rather get there.
Strap
That
your
was the
helmet
that was the
put
moment.
the helmet back
that
on.
was the most. This is a fair few years ago.
It was,
That was
wasn't
the
it?
most frightened I had been the whole week at the thing. She did banger racing or something up here.
Even better.
Onken, yeah. It was like she was off like Billy O.
That's right. So you broke down.
Yeah, she worked. They worked for the pub or they worked in the pub or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, she went. No, the woman and the people that own the pub says, oh, they knew I was under pressure. Said, oh, we'll let members.
Because the controller said, oh, we're not sending the car around to pick anybody up. And you were like, we need to get out for the next race. And she's like, I'll give you a lift. So.
Oh mate, I never spoke a peep. The whole just absolutely.
Was she on it?
Oh, yeah.
Limiter and every year.
No, I'd forgot about that, and then literally I feel sick now. It was horrendous. Like, because you've got this sexist thing where you think like, women are more capable than men.
Well,
at
if you're
everything.
sexist, yeah, you do.
Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I literally
sexist
got
thing.
in this car, this just normal looking,
She was like, it was just like
normal lass,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and she was off like stink.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not good. At one point, I thought I'd just put my helmet back on just in case. But yeah, so stuff like that happens. But yeah, so like on the other side, you're obviously coming on people you know.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's the hard. Like, you imagine for like working in the ambulance or anything, it's all well and good because it's an object, but then all of a sudden,
it's somebody you know.
It's someone you genuinely know and care about. I can't imagine what that must be like for him or someone that's in a.
I don't know, because we were talking about it earlier that you've been in situations when you've had to ride through an accident.
Yeah.
At least with Jonny, you get to. It must be hard. I dread to think what it's like, but you have a chance of potentially helping and saving that person.
It's good. Yeah, when you go somewhere and you actually like you can help them. It's good. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, you've done your part. I actually asked the lady that seeing me at the Northwest in the helicopter. I was like, how do you cope with obviously people dying, which will happen quite often? And she said to me, she says, listen, we go with the logic that they're already dead if we weren't there. So if we save them, it's a win. And if we don't save them, well, they were already dead.
Yeah.
So and I thought, well, I know it's a pretty savage black and white thing, but then even to me, I went, well, fair dues, do you know what I mean? Which it is the point. If you weren't there, you weren't rocking up, you wouldn't. You know what I mean? You've got, especially like if he says putting an airway in or something, that's seconds. That's not.
Yeah, we always keep them. We have them in the bag, but most of us will keep them in our pockets as well. Because sometimes you'll get on scene, you could be the first one there, so you're straight off the bike, no time to really unzip, whatever. Go with them, get the airways and see what they're like.
It's heavy, isn't it? Like,
so has that ever happened to you at that point?
Yeah, putting airways in people in anger. Yeah, it's all part and parcel of it, isn't it?
And when you get to that point, whether you know them or not, is it just on autopilot?
You want to be sort of you're doing it consciously, unconscious. They call it. So you keep.
But that's a mindset. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how, with all the goodwill in the world and all the training, you could get there and shit yourself.
You could, 100%.
And that will happen. It has to happen. There's
people
that will know. There's people that's been on flights and stuff, and there's people that know first aid, and it happens, and they just can't. And then they can't live with themselves because they were like, I had the knowledge to save someone.
Yeah.
But you can't physically do it. Do you know what I mean? That must be worse than anything.
And I think that's what it is as well. When everyone fancies the job, but then say if you've come across something like that, you could just freeze.
I think I'm not pretty good. Unfortunately, I've had a couple of accidents, and when you're used to being on that side, we once trained a doctor at the race school, and he fell off, and literally the man was he could have put a side stand down and not fell over, and he went into I just pulled up thinking, the bike was on him a little bit, nothing drastic, and there was this state of panic, because he was that used to being
on the
dude looking and sorting, and all of a sudden, and nothing was broke or nothing. He was yelling, and I was like, man, let's just chill here. We're all right. But that was the same thing. His brain was that set to be
on that side of things.
The guy going, whoa, it's okay, not the
needing the help.
Yeah, and that's what made me realise that some people, I don't think I could do it. I honestly don't believe I could.
Well, luckily you don't have to do it because there is people like Jonny. So how do you deal with that side of it?
Well, obviously we're quite good. Obviously, we'll always have a debrief afterwards with the boys as well.
Yeah.
Always checking on each other. So I guess everyone deals with it sort of differently, but I think you've got to talk about it. You can't sort of just have it bottled up. That doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. You've got to talk about it. How are you feeling? How has it affected you? It might not be that it's affected them, and they might think I'm fine, but then you maybe can see something on them, not specifically any of the TMs, but I've seen it in other aspects. Someone thinks they're all right, and you think, I actually, sometimes if you just say it out loud, it makes it more real, and then it's real, it's out there then, and then you can actually tell me how you do feel about it,
Yeah.
So it's good though, but we all sort of talk to each other about it. I wouldn't say we're what's the word? Not immune to it. Desensitized to it, because we've all seen stuff that nobody wants to see. But
you just
we're there to do a job. So we're focused on it, and then we'll deal with it after the fact. It doesn't get left away in a box, if you know what I mean. It does get opened.
Yeah.
And we do what's the word? I want to say disassemble it. What's the word? My approach, I feel arrogant now, because I wave at these boys and if I see anyone on the road and I go, oh yeah, they've got a mint. I genuinely thought brand new 5-blade,
but it's and I'm completely I'm just going to do this every time they go past. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, especially being one of the first.
Yeah,
possibly potentially.
Sometimes
the
we
first.
are, and like you say, when you say about freezing and stuff, you'll go to some scenes, and they'll have it's different sort of seeing it on TV, but also when you see it live, you hear it, you smell it. It's you'll have marshals that have maybe marshalling for the first time with more experienced people, and they'll just be like,
holy shit.
Yeah, you see the colour drain.
You can't blame them.
No, not at all. You're just trying to get them to sort of get out of the sort of scene, if you know what I mean. Go wave a flag down there or walk away. Yeah, you can't blame them, because it's not for everyone to see. It's like even a short circuit, you see someone crash. Even if I'm sat at the side of the short circuit somewhere having a beer, and you see someone crash, you still think,
Yeah.
Still, because you're not prepared for it. Sort of when we've got the yellow jacket on, it's we're there to do a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're not you're there to do it. You're not in civilian mode.
So I should have not all heroes wear capes. I want that printed on their orange bib from now on.
All heroes wear orange bibs.
Yeah.
Well, Illuminous yellow RST jackets.
RST jackets.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Part 1 has come to an end for this TT podcast. However, part 2 is coming up next week, and here is a little teaser of what Johnny's got to say. But the only thing I can equate it to is being like a lifeguard in a swimming pool, right? It's a job that you have to.
Just got a vision of Bear watching.
I mean,
full Baywatch.
He'd look cool. He'd look cool running
He's
down
got
the
the
beach.
right physique.
Yeah. There's some really short red shorts.
Tiny little shorts. Yeah.
That's all he wanted to get the point round. Can they put in little things of Hasselhoff?
Yeah.
Well, there we go. We're gonna have to now. So the first place you can watch that is right here on TT Plus, unless you're watching on YouTube. If you are, leave your comments down below. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how Lee Johnston's doing. He loves those YouTube comments, don't you, Lee?
Yeah, on my channel, which is also really good. So if you want to watch that.
Well, yeah, we may as well give him a shout. Make sure you subscribe to the Lee Johnston YouTube channel, because you'll probably get some behind the scenes of this podcast, right?
Oh, you're on there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bringing in the views. Until next time, see you later, guys. Bye, Lee.
Bye.